Ozonics Killerwinds podcast back again. We got the nuke. We got me. Hey, you know what? Tell me it's 1st of December and it's really cold outside without telling me it's 1st December, it's cold outside.
Okay.
I'll start.
Cold's just been cold.
I'm gonna do pod like this.
Oh.
This is what it feels. This is what I look like when I'm out deer hunting right now. I got the hood up,
tucked in.
I got the multiple layers.
Worst part is
Zip up. Try not to get the beard in there. This is it right here.
Worst part is we ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I know. Man, I'll tell you what. If you're going to go hunting, I would dress extra warm. I don't know, let's say Thursday. What's the air temp Thursday morning? 9?
Yeah.
-9?
I don't know, something like that. It's in the negatives.
Negatives. Real feel way below zero.
Yeah, it's going to be
10 to 15 mile an hour wind on top of that. She gonna be a cold one.
This is where you just wish you had a blind.
Oh my goodness.
Get a little buddy heater going. I mean, come on. I mean, it's a good thing we're so tough.
Talk about yourself. I'm a big wimp. No, it's I feel like Mother Nature is punishing me now.
Why?
Because now the rut's starting to slow down and the temps are dropping.
Well, hey, let's talk about that a little bit.
Oh my!
We had a pretty good hunt last night.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, we had a good hunt. I mean, we saw a bunch of deer.
Feels like it's starting to slow down though.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's starting to slow down.
I'm just gonna give everybody an FYI. I'm still in negative town. I'm still sulking.
Yeah.
Oh
no.
And then Nick makes comment. He's like, "Oh, I think this new you is good. I like this new you." I'm like, "No, I don't like this at all."
No. The reason I was saying that is because I've never seen you get so fired up over a buck.
Yeah,
since I've met you.
Yeah, it's making me pretty mad.
That's all right though. But yeah, no, I mean, Thanksgiving. I went home for Thanksgiving. Came back on Friday, beat the storm a little bit, and man, it snowed. I mean, it just snowed like crazy.
Dude, we got like a foot of snow.
Yeah.
Literally, we got a foot of snow.
Yeah, I mean, it just dumped.
It's funny because usually you can count on the weather or the weatherman being wrong.
I know.
Meteorology seems like a job that you it's all about, law of averages.
Yeah.
Somewhere here or there. Don't pin the tail on the donkey. Don't have to hit the bullseye. Just got to get it close. They hit it square in the middle this time.
Yeah, they did.
9 to 14 inches. That's exactly what we got.
Yeah.
It snowed from Friday night at like 6 or 7 o'clock until middle of the night on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was up, just doing stuff, and it was like 11 midnight. Looked outside. It was still snowing.
Yeah.
It just let loose.
Yeah. I was really banking on it not being how much they said. I mean, on Friday I got home nice and early. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pack all my stuff, get ready for tomorrow, and just because I feel like there's a good chance we're not going to get as much as they say.
Yeah.
And we would go hunting, so I packed everything up, woke up the next morning. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, it snowed a lot, and then it just kept on going. Called Cole. Cole's like, yeah, I am
snowed in.
I'm way snowed in right now, and
yep.
I still decided to drive to your house.
Well, yeah, that's like I said. It's been a bit. It's this winter is going to be quite an adjustment for me. My whole life I've lived in town.
Mm-hmm.
You would think, as much as I love the country and being out in the woods, that I would have always lived out of town. I've never lived on a farm.
Yeah,
living on a farm. Well, there's kind of a different set of rules out there,
right,
than there is in town when you can just go, oh, the city plow is going to go by, and there's a lot of houses around. And you got a little bit of a windbreak here and there, and you can generally just like kick it into four-wheel, smash it in reverse, and just get out of something and get going.
Make it work.
But that is not what it's going to be like.
No.
So my truck was drifted in.
Yeah,
and the gravel road was drifted in.
Yeah, because I went to Cole's house at probably 11, 10 maybe,
Yeah,
10:30,
it was
11.
like 10, 11 o'clock.
Drove out there, and his main road, I mean, my truck was just busting through drifts.
Yeah.
And then it was a little hairy. Like I pulled up to the road and I looked down. I'm like, we'll make it work. We'll do it. And I'm going. It's like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh geez, and there's just snow flying over my hood. I'm like, oh great. But we made it. Get down in there, and I pull around. And I see Cole's truck, and like you can like see half his truck. There's just a huge drift right in front of it. But at that point, I'm like, okay, yeah, we're probably not gonna. I don't think we'll be able to get out.
No. Yeah.
Well, and even yesterday too was kind of a trick
More than kind of a trick.
because you called me at that point we're like, okay, let's just not go tomorrow morning.
Well, the original plan was, Friday is Black Friday, right? And Black Friday is a busy day at Ozonics, so I knew, and we were working, so I was like, well, Friday's out, you know what I mean? And so I was like, well, let's try Saturday. Well, then it started to snow, and then Saturday morning, it was already getting pretty crummy.
Yeah.
And so, and I was just like, okay, we're not going Saturday morning and then Saturday afternoon, and then you'd stop by, and then we're looking at Saturday, looking at Sunday, and I'm like, well, my day is going to be dictated by like, can I get out of here? You know what I mean? And so then on Sunday, get up and get going, start scooping. Tatum's uncle came, and he has his tractor, and he started pushing snow, and then it made it really go fast then.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock. I called you. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't really know what we were going to get ourselves into over that way either.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what I was nervous about because, state of Iowa, like a lot of northern Midwestern states, it seems like they do the interstates, the highways, the blacktops, the gravel.
Mm-hmm.
So gravel always seems like comes last.
Yeah.
And so, and it was funny because the road that I kept thinking about was the road that was really crummy.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Oh man! So there's this one little stretch of gravel road. It's like a mile and a half stretch.
Yeah.
That's right on this little high spot. There's nothing around. There's hardly anything for ditches right there.
Yeah.
And it just drifts over that terrible.
Really bad.
So we picnic up middle of like noon. It's like, okay, we could eat a hustle if we want to get it, like walking away from the truck. I'd love to be sitting by one, but let's just walk away from the truck by one. So we're driving there. Interstate's fine. Highways are fine. Blacktops are fine. We get on the gravel, and it starts to get a little squirrely. So then we get to that mile stretch, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
It was like, okay.
Nothing had touched it yet.
Keep your speed type deal. Just keep going, trying to stay in the middle, trying not to let it pull you off to the side. So we got over there. We got past that. But the problem is that the plow had gone by. Well, then he, of course, and it is what it is, threw everything off into the ditches, and the field driveways made those even worse.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, darn it. So there was no way to be able to drive in. I mean, we're talking a foot of snow. And so I called the landowner, and I just give him a heads up, like, hey, I'm going to be out here. There's no place to park. I'm going to probably park like right off the road. If you see my truck, that's what I'm doing. He's like, oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for letting me know. So what we ended up doing is there's a gate. We opened the one side of the gate just to try to get so I could back far enough off. And then I basically did kind of an Austin Powers, got turned in there in 4-wheel drive, and then just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and tried to like kind of pound it down a little bit to give ourselves so we could stand somewhere and not be already just standing in a whole pile of snow and just back and forth, whole bunch of times to kind of pound it down, and got just far enough off the road.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've said this after this whole weekend. I'll never forget when I was younger, I drove semi trucks, and my family owned a trucking company, and I worked with my grandpa. And I remember one year, it was in early November, we got a snow ice storm, and it was just sheets of ice everywhere. And I remember him saying, he goes, you watch, we're going to have this ice till spring. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And we did. Mm-hmm. That ice never left. It was just on everything. And it made the winter horrible. You know what I mean? Because everything just sat on that ice. You know what I mean? And it never really thawed, and like it was just everywhere. And I remember the frost boils and everything was just, that whole winter was just a pain. Mm-hmm. I get that same vibe from what just happened now.
Yeah.
That this snow, it ain't going anywhere.
No, I don't think so.
If you look at the 5-day, the 10-day, the 14-day, there is nothing but cold
And some more snow this
and
weekend.
more snow on this coming Saturday.
Yeah.
I think this snow is here to stay,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to make everything a bit more challenging as we move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
So especially where we hunt,
Yeah.
you know, and that's the other thing too, is like that, like to drive down in there, that 2-track, it kind of leans.
Leans really hard.
Yeah, it
I
leans.
figured that out last night.
So then it's just, you look at it and you're like, I am not driving down in here.
Mm-hmm.
If I drive in here, I can drive in. I'm not getting out.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
So that's going to present a whole other set of challenges, you know, than it has in the past for us.
For sure.
You know, it's been a long time since I can remember a big snow like this before December 1st.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of years since, as a kid growing up, first week in December always meant shotgun season.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a lot of years when I was a kid when we would have white, it'd be all white for shotgun season. But for whatever reason, the last how many years, as long as I can remember now, usually for shotgun season, it's brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's not white.
Yeah.
It is white out there now,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not going anywhere.
Nope.
And so it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Like you said, we've had this conversation before. I have this like kind of like love-hate relationship with gun hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it because I feel like sometimes I think there's bad stuff that happens and you hear and you see things, and I've experienced them as a young person too, when, you know, guys shooting at guys walking, doing drives and stuff, and can get really sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I also like so that's kind of the hate part. The love part is the fact that I understand that whitetail hunting in Iowa, shotgun seasons have to be a part of the management strategy.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so do I like the idea of like sneaking into a spot and having a deer walk by and have no idea I'm there and like lace an arrow through it and have it just run over and then just fall over and like barely knows what happened? Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of like deer frantically running through the woods, like with their heads cut off, like looking around every corner, like what's going on, just trying to like survive.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But I understand that's a part of it too.
Mm-hmm.
And like we've talked about before, we are predators and we are in the business of killing whitetails. And, you know, so are coyotes. So are bow hunters and so are shotgun hunters. And everybody has a different way of doing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
At the end of the day, it's still killing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we all in our own way get to the same end result.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I'm going to be gun hunting this year with Jet. My boy has got his youth tag, which you can also use during the other seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be taking him out this weekend and trying to see if we can brown it down, right? He has a second shotgun state tag, but he also has his youth tag, which means he can hunt during the first shotgun season too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it'd be interesting to see if we can get him a deer. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a muzzleloader, so first and second shotgun is kind of his last hurrah, unless we maybe use yours.
Yeah, we could potentially get it.
Yeah, if we get that worked out and maybe let him shoot that. I mean, he'd love that.
Yeah.
He'd be really good at that. But so like you said, it's going to be interesting right when the snow came. And then initially I was like, man, it is going to be a good year for gun hunters. They are going to really smoke them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at the weather that's coming Saturday and then you see the real cold, you know, I think that will kind of deter people a little bit.
Yeah.
But like you said at the beginning, if you're sitting in a ground blind, you got a heater, you're in business.
Yeah, you're way in business.
That's going to be the ticket
yeah.
moving forward, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, like you said, this last week, again, Black Friday week is always a really tricky thing because we're really, really busy here. So like hunting, and again, when you're working a full-time job, hunting kind of, whether you like it or not, kind of takes second fiddle. And so we were really busy this last week. So like I said, it was a weekend hunts, and then the way the snow happened, it didn't really work out. But you could definitely see on the cameras how everything definitely started to slow
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like we were past that kind of zombie walking, and we're definitely in the post rut where everything's starting to calm back down again. Now I will say we hunted yesterday again after the snow, super cold weather, first time since the snow that where the wind really calmed right down.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what, the deer came out of the woodwork.
Yeah, they did. Oh my gosh.
I mean, gosh, what did I see? 6 or 7 bucks,
Yeah.
3 or 4 does from 2 o'clock on. From 2 to 5, it was just a flurry of just activity.
Yeah.
And I did watch a doe kind of stand up and kind of walk down to the north and get in a thicket where there was a nice buck. And she walked right in and she trotted right back out, and he was right on her tail. You know, and he was putting his head down and kind of dogging after her, and she was kind of doing the old like run ahead, turn, look back at him, then stop and act like she wasn't interested, then run towards him, then run away, and then he'd chase her, and another buck came out, did the same thing, kind of followed right in her trail. So still seeing a little bit of rut activity.
Yeah.
But then as that all happened, he stood in the same spot like a statue for probably 20 minutes and then just lost interest and turned to walk the other way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then like you said, I also saw a couple bucks kind of turn and tink horns, you know what I mean? And you know, almost like, hey, what are you doing? Like a little bit of a pecking order type deal. That was kind of cool to see. But yeah, like you said, it feels like, you know, you just kind of got to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you're on that trail where all of a sudden there just maybe be that so happen to be doe that's still doing her thing, and he just happens to walk by.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, a buddy of ours experienced that last time on a piece of public land. Just by pure chance, he's been hunting real hard, and here walked down 2 does, and here walked a buck right behind her, and that was all. That's all he needed.
All she wrote.
Yep. And sometimes it is like the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah.
And that's really what I feel like I'm trying to bank on now. Is we've been working pretty hard. Now I just need a little bit of luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Had already had my luck. Pretty sure it's not going to happen, but you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a fun hunt. It was a fun hunt for sure. I sat on a kind of completely different spot than Cole, and I could see up on the ridges and stuff with the snow. It was really easy to see the deer. I'm pretty sure I lost count. I mean, they just looked like kind of ants just working through there and stuff, and it was a really enjoyable sit. And like Cole said, he saw a nice buck, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, we think it's a buck that we'd had only had one picture of
Yeah.
in the summer in velvet.
No, I'm pretty sure that was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense. I mean, that's literally the only legit 10-pointer that we had all year.
And it's funny because I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Very good.
but as I'm sitting there last night, what Nick's describing, I'm sitting east looking straight west. So I'm looking through the trees kind of this way. Nick was sitting to the north of me, looking at the trees kind of perpendicular.
Yeah.
So instead of looking at them like this, like I was, he was looking at the trees like this.
Yeah.
And so it was much easier for him to see deer, where I'm trying to look through the trees all the way. But as I'm doing that, I do see a buck, right? Like, oh, there's a buck. And he was a little forky, right? So he kind of walks down from the southwest, kind of walks to the north. 10 minutes later, here comes another little buck, kind of a little basket rack. He comes down, does the same thing. I'm like, okay, they get in this thick stuff. I'm like, all right, what are you going to do? Are you going to go out to the north? Like, are you going to walk out into the field? Just kind of, doing their thing. And it's fun to see deer, right? It kind of makes the time go by, and you're fighting off the cold, and you're trying to keep your hand warm, trying to keep your feet warm, and it's like, so deer are a really nice distraction. So we're watching them, and then a little bit after that, probably another half hour goes by, I just see a body of a deer right away. I'm like, either that's a really big doe or it's a buck. Put up, instantly I can see rack, and I'm like, okay, that's a good buck.
Yeah.
And he walked in right where those other two did, and then all of a sudden, boop, they come out of there like, oh, I got. And the one walked right by, the little forky walked by 10 yards, went out to the field. And the other one kind of went back to the south, and then he was like, okay, this is where I want to be now.
Yeah.
And then that doe came down and went over there, and then he kind of did his thing. But yeah, he's a nice mainframe 10. He's wide, he's pretty tall. Nice deer.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of crazy because he's really white on the top, but his bases were super dark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which to me, again, I don't know, maybe this is just, maybe I'm putting too many pieces together here, but there's a bunch of cedars to the west of us. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, just he's in those cedars, he's on that sappy stuff, and then it just horns get darker like that.
Right.
And we haven't seen him at all.
Not one time.
Not one time.
And we've been talking about that a lot. I mean, the property to our west is a big property. It's super thick. And I just
Bedding area city.
and I just feel like there's deer in there that we don't even know exist. Nice bucks in there, and I think that was the case of that. I mean, he probably lived to the west all year long, and then the cold got him up and the snow got him up, and he made his way our way.
Yeah.
Again, you know.
I always feel like when you think about like where a deer lives, I always think about it like a record, you know, and where is the center of the record? And when that record spins, where is the far ends of that record?
Right.
And I feel like that buck last night was a perfect example where we were on the far east edge of his record.
Mm-hmm.
His record spun way more to the west than where we were.
For sure.
The middle of his record was way to the west of where we were.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brutus, I don't think his record is directly centered on us. I think we're not on his east edge. We're kind of between the middle and his east edge.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
And his record did kind of move and rutted. He rutted more on us.
Yeah.
But now his record, I feel like, is moving back to the west again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, where he's spinning and where that record is spinning around is not on us again.
Yeah, exactly. And you really saw that too in the summer. I mean, he would show up once every 2 weeks on the same exact spot, and it's just like, okay, clearly it's not where he lives. He's coming over here, checking some stuff out, and then moving back
Goes
through.
back, yeah.
But no, I mean, it's just it's awesome to
That deer will haunt me forever.
until you kill him late season.
Forever.
Forever. He's going to haunt me forever.
But yeah, no, it's just cool to see a new buck this time of year. You know what I mean?
It's not that fun. No, I'm just kidding. Let me sulk for a minute. Gosh darn it. God, that stupid deer. No, it was really neat to see him.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I was like, if you come over here, I am going to totally shoot you. Like, come on over, get within my little circle here, and I'm going to totally smoke you.
Yeah, I was really bummed.
I thought the way that little forky got in that thicket, and then he walked over and then walked along the creek and then came right to me. I thought, oh my gosh, that guy's going to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, because out of all the deer I've seen, I think I only saw 2 bucks. And after the hunt, Cole's like, yeah, he kind of was working northeast. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's exactly what the other bucks did. I cannot believe that he didn't walk kind of right by you.
Yeah.
Because I did just seen those 2 bucks. Well, I seen more bucks, but out of the ones that were over kind of by Cole, I could just see 2 of them kind of come out to the edge.
Yep.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I think one thing that we were talking about yesterday, and it's interesting how, like the who, what, when, where, why. Like, where do you go? When do you go there? Why do you sit there? There's I feel like we're kind of in late season feels like there's a bit of a shift for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Early, like pre-rut, it feels like, okay, let's go sit near scrapes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let's see if we can get lucky near scrapes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, does are consistently doing a bit more what they do. Then all of a sudden when you get into the pre-rut and they're really, and sitting scrapes like we talked about, or really where bucks start to cruise, you know what I mean? Like you just never know, anywhere can be good. You know what I mean? Then you get in the peak of the rut and the lockdown. It's like, oh, how can we get near bedding areas? You know what I mean? Or how can I get between the bedding area or get in a real good pinch point? You know what I mean? Like between a couple spots where I feel like deer may be moving through. And then now I feel like what we were talking about last time, it's like, oh, where do we go? Where do we go? And I feel like getting into the post rut, and also now that we have snow on the ground, like we were talking about, it's like, well, do we want to see deer or do we want to shoot deer?
Mm-hmm.
Because with snow on the ground and deer definitely the rut kind of slowing down a little bit. My thought is, okay, well, where are the does going to be walking out? Because maybe that's where maybe a buck may be straggling behind if you're trying to get super lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like there's a trick right now because you can see deer or you can try to shoot deer.
Right.
And like, especially with your bow, you got to try to get in a position where you can shoot them. And that's why I tried to go in the woods last night. You know what I mean? Rather than get out on an edge where I feel like the edge works great when you have a gun. But for us, when you get out in the field right now, these deer, they want to kind of get away from everything.
Yeah.
They want to get out in the open. Well, all of a sudden they may walk out at 30, but then all of a sudden they trot out to 60 and then it's such a real trick.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I feel like right now it's like, how do we get closer to where we can shoot them? And that's where I feel like trying to get in the woods where we were, where they kind of stage in there and trying to get up close and personal to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I was worried about with you on the river is that's a great spot. You can see everything,
Yeah.
but it's more about there. I think you're going to see them more than you're going to shoot them.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I knew that. I just expected to see more deer down by the river.
Yes. Oh, that was
It
weird.
was weird. We didn't see there wasn't a single deer down there, which was kind of odd because like Cole's saying, like if there's a spot right now to sit on an edge with the bow, I would argue the river's pretty good. I mean, if they do what they normally do, it's a 35-yard shot, which is a kind of a poke. But I was totally thinking like they're just gonna work down that edge, come out and just walk by at 35 yards like they always do, but just never happened.
Yeah.
So
The only thing that I would say too about that is that, like, you know, if it's just windy but not super cold,
yeah,
the river makes a lot of sense because I feel like when you walk down to the river, you buck the wind the whole way, and then all of a sudden you get right up to the river and you're like, oh man, this ain't too bad.
yeah,
It breaks just enough.
yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah,
But there isn't a ton of tree line on that river, really.
yeah. No,
And so now we're talking 12 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour wind. You would think maybe that's pushing some of those deer to the south more because there's just not a whole lot of break there.
yeah,
Does
exactly.
that make sense?
Yeah,
So maybe that's going to make the flat better for us because the more you get away from the river, there's just that much more cover that's breaking that wind. And in
Yeah.
that bottom, it wasn't that bad at all.
no, it wasn't
You
bad.
know,
It wasn't
But
bad.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I don't know why that I thought for sure that you would see deer on the river and it just
Yeah.
didn't. It just weren't there.
Yeah, it was odd, but yeah, I gave the old Rambo, the e-bike, a workout.
Yeah.
Bombed
Yeah.
that through the snow. It worked.
It was the thing about the snow was it was weird because it was fluffy snow, but it was actually really slick.
Yeah, it was really slick. It was like riding on an ice rink. I mean, it was just doing what it wanted. I mean, like Cole said earlier, like the main field road up on top, it kind of slopes down towards the woods. And like 50 yards after I
You could
left,
see your tire tracks all like this.
and I was going, I tried to turn it back, and then I like slid out, had to catch myself, but it was quite the rodeo. It's kind of a workout, honestly.
It looked like you had a tricycle rather than a bicycle.
Yeah.
Because at first I was following one solid tire track, and then I was following one tire track with two boot tracks on each side, skimming along as like
I was just trying to balance it a little
yeah,
bit.
as
just-
like training wheels.
yeah,
Yeah, that was funny.
yeah, but it worked.
Oh,
it worked
that's
good.
funny. Well, it worked better than walking. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been a
Yeah.
brutal walk all the way down to the edge,
Yeah, no,
all the way down to the river. That's kind of a far walk, but
yeah, no. I've been there, done that.
yeah, but yeah, no, it was a really fun hunt for sure.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because that's where things are gonna. There's a lot of shifting going on right now, right? Because, like I said, we still have this week to hunt. We're gonna try to get after it a couple times out there and like some afternoon sits, see what we can do. But right, like I said, I think the key for us this week is trying to get really in on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not really as much try to set the edges if we can help it. Try to get in the woods where maybe they'll stage by. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's obviously a few does that are still kicking around, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And bucks are still a little interested. You never know. But yeah, like I said, for us this week is going to be trying to get in on them where we feel like we can shoot them, not just watch them.
Yeah.
But then the interesting thing is once we get into shotgun season, I feel like it'll kind of shift to more hunting the edges.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Because we can reach out and touch them a bit farther.
Yeah.
But then once we get back into the late muzz season and I start carrying my bow again, then I'm going to really try to get up close and personal on them again.
Yeah, for sure.
So it'll kind of shift back again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting too, just to see with the way the temps look for the next bit. I mean, there's not really a warm up in there. So the nice thing about that is it should keep the snow pretty fluffy and easy to walk through, quiet to walk through. It's so funny, like even with that said, as I walked out last night, I tried not to walk in my same boot tracks. I tried to like walk half of my boot track to try to make my track bigger. So when it does get all crusty, I have somewhere that I can try to
walk
sneak
on,
through quietly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the snow will stay pretty fluffy for a bit.
Yeah.
Which will be kind of nice.
Yeah, for sure.
But you wouldn't know that cornfield was just picked and not plowed. You can't hardly see it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the rows, but like, it's covered.
Yeah, it's way
really covered.
It's way covered. It was really deep in that down by the river there. It almost just seemed like the corn stalks were holding a lot more snow. When the wind blew, it wasn't. The corn stalks was holding the snow pretty well, and the bike was bogging down really hard down there. I mean, it was getting deep, but yeah, no, it was good.
I'll tell you what, now would be the time to have a snowmobile.
No, yeah.
No, dude, not for the reason that you think. If I had a snowmobile right now, I would go out there and I would cut in trails wherever I wanted the deer to walk.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, that sounds really silly. I used to do that years and years ago. I hunted a spot that we got really, really deep snow during the shotgun seasons. It was during the shotguns, and it stayed through muzzleloader. And I was having a heck of a time because I was trudging through like knee-high or above knee-high waist snow, just trudging out there. And I had a buddy that had a snowmobile. I'm like, hey, can I borrow that? And it was a drive to get out there. So I bawhawed out there. And I'm like, you know what? Like these deer, they want to go the path least resistance. So I just drove that snowmobile where I wanted the deer to walk. And sure enough.
Yeah.
But dude, you could take a snowmobile down in there. And if you went down and just drove a straight path and you drove it 10 yards right out in front of those tree stands and just drove it west to east, that's 100% where those deer would walk.
Yeah.
If we drove it right down the tongue, right along the west side, and just drove it right down along that, and then only made one path across it, they would cross right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, they really would.
Yeah.
If you could get up in the woods, and you could really do some damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. Like and you can even see now where they're starting to kind of mow down where they want to walk through.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting late season.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. I'm excited though.
I think if I was a bet man, I think there's definitely going to be some deer that are going to hit the ground, whether that's us or anybody else.
Yeah.
With snow on the ground and this much cold, deer are going to have to come out and eat.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I'll tell you the other thing though, dude. I think from a management perspective, you know, obviously the state is hoping that obviously there's a good harvest between the bow season. They're hoping for a good harvest with the gun seasons and late muzz. But I think there's going to be a bigger winter kill than there's been in a while. If you think about it, dude, we're getting 4 to 6 weeks earlier cold weather and snow than we usually get.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's sometimes into January before we have a good snow and more than just like an inch or two dusting.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got snow like we may not have until end of January. We got that now, and it's 1st of December.
Yeah, exactly.
So the deer are going to they've got, 4 to 6 weeks extra winter than they're used to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be, I'm excited for it. I think it could be a really fun late season potentially.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and like you said, I was joking at the beginning about how, tell me it's cold in Iowa, but we get to go inside, get in the truck turn the seat warmers on, go back in the house, crank the heat to 68, 70, sit in the chair and warm up.
Yeah.
They don't, dude.
Yeah.
It was 19, 17 degrees when we left the truck. It was 17, 15 when we got back. It was 12 degrees this morning. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in single digits below zero before the end of the week.
Yeah.
They don't get away from it.
Yeah.
their body is just constantly having to try to burn and keep themselves warm.
Yeah.
And so they gotta fill the tank.
Oh yeah.
And so, and again, the nice thing about where we're at is that we've got the cornfield.
Yeah, exactly.
It's obviously a pick field, but like the farmer doesn't have the greatest combine in the world, I guess is what you could say.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's like you walk out there, you're like, okay, there's a lot of corn sitting around here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like you see a full corn cob here and there, you're like, that ain't good. But yeah, like I said, it'll be interesting late season what we can do out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it was interesting last night. I mean, not many of those deer. I mean, we saw a pile of deer, and not a lot of them made it to the corn, or even any field, really.
No.
They just hung out in the woods for the most part, which, I mean, I just think it seems like it's a thing. It's like they're still working on stuff that they've already been eating, but eventually they're going to have to go out there and feed a little bit. So
Yeah, I agree with that. I felt like I saw a lot of deer that when they were in the woods that were eating in like the little thick clumps of brush. I don't know what they were eating, but they were eating something.
yeah,
You could tell them they were kind of like picking at stuff on the branches and the trees and stuff. And so there's still stuff out there.
yeah,
But then that's the crazy thing too is, you know, obviously it's quiet with the snow. So we kind of snuck out of there, but we were still walking out and we weren't even out of there, what, a half hour?
yeah,
And there's just deer on the
Everywhere.
cameras. Oh, they're the deer.
everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yep.
That's another thing we need to do this week.
What?
We need to freshen up some batteries.
Oh yeah.
Holy
yeah.
cow.
Everything is
Getting low.
yeah. I mean we're still there's one that's for sure way dead, but everything else you can tell is just hanging on by a thread.
It went from like 60%, 40%. Now they're like 15, 20%.
Yeah, exactly. So,
But
so that'll be fun.
yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, I know this weekend my brother-in-law talked about maybe wanting to go. So we'll probably take the boys out this weekend. And I think we just maybe just do an afternoon sit.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that's, again, like shotgun seasons make me a bit nervous when everybody's out pushing and driving deer around, especially in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather maybe just get out there like middle of the day and then just sit till dark
Yeah.
and just let that.
See what you're working with and
Yeah. And then just see what happens.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like you said, the last hurrah of the first split of the archery season, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we get lucky out there. Maybe something walks by. And again, I mean, when you really look at it, we saw a lot of bucks yesterday for what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
A lot of bucks out moving around. And so you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know, man.
You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is way off topic, but I was just thinking about this. It was kind of cool when I got into the river stand. I'm sitting there and I just kept hearing stuff like behind me in the river. I'm like, what in the heck is that? Well, come to figure out, I finally figured out what it was, and it was actually there was huge ice chunks floating down the river, and you could hear them crashing and banging into each other.
Oh, really?
It was pretty cool. It was way louder than I would expect, but sure enough, one came floating by right behind me, and it hit another one, and they just crashed together, and it was just
Funny.
cracking and popping. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because when we drove by on the way in, I looked and the river was still open.
Yeah.
But like Clear Lake is frozen.
Mm-hmm.
I drove by that this morning.
Yeah.
And that was frozen.
Yeah.
But the river was still open, but obviously there was ice, clear ice that's kind of just moving down.
Moving down, yeah.
And so it's going to start to freeze up here shortly.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, you think this week?
Oh, it'll be close to frozen, I bet, by the end of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Which it's tough to know, especially because, I mean, we don't really know how deep it is around there. I mean, if it's not very deep, it might not freeze at all just with the current ripping through. But in some of those deep spots, I'm sure it'll be pretty well frozen.
You know, I don't know much about this, and because of that, I just don't ever even try. But like ice in general, I'm not a big fan of, right? Like I don't have ice fishing gear. Buddies that I'll go ice fishing on, you've taken me ice fishing, but like I know you got to have a certain amount of thickness of ice and stuff like that. And it's funny because you can tell that it's this time of year because Instagram, I don't know if you've been seeing that, been seeing a bunch of videos of like, what do you do if you get fall through the ice? Like I saw a guy yesterday that he had like an ice pick
Yeah.
and he was standing on a spot that they cleared out and it was thin ice already, but he was breaking it all around him. I mean, dude, he broke it a ton of times. I mean, he's looking at the camera. He's, like his wife or girlfriend was like, he's like, how am I not breaking through?
Yeah.
I mean, he was really poking.
Was he trying to break through?
Yes, dude.
Okay.
He was trying to show like, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know, and I know what to do, but I still thought it was interesting. I was like, oh, I'll just watch, see if he says anything different or what, you know. So, dude, he was breaking it a ton. And he's looking at the camera like, and she's like, I don't know, let's keep doing it. So she breaks, and finally you hear it just, and then finally he breaks through, and he was only in like 5-6 feet of water.
Yeah.
Or 5 feet. He could touch.
Yeah.
It was like up to here.
Yeah.
He gets down in the water, and he threw his thing up on the shore, or up on the ice, just this long pick. And then he said, he's like, you know, just try to kind of make yourself big, and then just kind of get yourself up like this, and then just kind of
work your way out.
Army crawl your way out of it. You know what I mean? Don't try to like, you know, sit up like that. Just kind of army crawl your way out of it. And he did. He just bloop, popped right out of there. I saw another couple videos that they were doing the same thing. They were had a bunch of people there. They were broke through, and then these guys had big suits on, and then they show them crawling out of it. But the point of saying all that is like the river that we're on, we can hunt both sides of it.
Yeah.
But the river kind of becomes a barrier because when there's water flowing, like we're not wading through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a big enough river, and there's enough water ripping through there. Like we're not wading through there.
Yeah.
But the thing of it is when the ice is on, we could probably walk over it. But then the thing is I don't know enough about ice, and I don't know enough about where the current is to where all of a sudden you're standing on a foot of ice and then you're standing on 2 inches of ice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because where that current rips through, it thins it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know where those spots are.
Yeah.
And so it's like I know enough about electricity not to mess with it. I know enough about ice not to mess with it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No.
Yeah.
But I think but I will say is the deer don't care.
No.
So that will be interesting to see how that kind of shift things, because again, a lot of times we've had that river open through the end of the season.
Oh yeah.
It's not froze over by January 10th.
Yep.
And so I think, dude, I think we go out there in like March, and there's going to be some winter killed deer out there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess so.
I'll tell you what, the other thing we saw last night, which of course they're out there trying to do their thing, is coyotes.
Yep.
Man, if you're a coyote hunter, man, it'd be a time to be out calling some coyotes.
Oh, yeah.
Especially last night.
Yeah.
6-7 mile an hour wind, calm down, clear sky. That moon was out. Be a good night to call some coyotes.
Yeah. Yeah, I had 2 of them come, and there's a little knoll right in front of where I was sitting, and 2 of them came and just sat there.
Yeah.
Popped down on their butts, just sat there, looked around for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Actually. Then they just worked off, but yeah, it was crazy.
And then I saw 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it was weird. The 2 were really chasing the first one, and they were nipping at its butt.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it was like running with its tail between its legs. And like, dude, they ran right by it like 10 yards.
Yeah.
Didn't eat. I mean, I wasn't even going to try to stop them. They were really hustling through.
Yeah.
And then kind of when one went off to the east, and the other 2 kind of stood at like 50, 60 yards, and then they went back to the west.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
no, they're interesting to see, that's for sure.
yeah, they looked real prime. They looked
did.
really, really nice.
They really did.
Yeah, they looked good.
I know. I grabbed my bow at one point because they were kind of lining out right to me.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, they have to walk right in. I mean, they were on corn stalks that were literally dead even with me, and they were just walking right at me, single file, just trotting along. I'm like, okay, here we go. This actually might happen. And then they got to that knob, and they just kind of locked up, and you could see where some turkeys were scratching around, and they were sniffing and all that.
Oh yeah.
Because that's when I first saw them. I'd seen a turkey fly, and then those 2 coyotes came out, so they were definitely chasing turkeys, so they were sniffing around in that, and then they just sat there.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of cool, actually, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's the winter, you know, I feel like for the bow season, we hunt in no snow for so long. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see how it all starts to change things
Yeah, it
with the
changes
snow.
for sure.
And also, I'll tell you what, I do really enjoy about the snow. Even walking in yesterday, like you see right where the deer walk. I'm like, oh, hey, look, deer walked right here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, oh, well, that's odd. Came out of this and went that way.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
even where your tire track was, we had a buck that came down the tongue 2 track right where you drove your bike, and there was a deer track right in your tire track, which you saw that buck, and then I saw that buck, and he came behind me. But yeah, it's just kind of neat to see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it definitely. It kind of, it leaves you what's going on,
Yeah, no doubt.
so.
But yeah, one last thing. Big news in me and Cole's world. Talked to the old landlord.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to the landlord.
You really hyped this up. I was thinking there was going to be some crazy news when I got to your house yesterday. That was a little bit of a letdown.
I called Cole, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm on my way right now. I'm coming right now." Blah, blah, blah.
You're like, hey, hold on a second. I got big news. And I was like, oh.
And I'm like, "I'll just tell you when you get here. Just rev his engines just a little bit. You know what I mean?" And so, but anyways, this year with both me and Cole moving, we didn't really have a great spot to hang deer and cut deer up, so we've just been hushing a lot of deer. And so me and Cole were talking like, man, the garage at my place could work pretty good, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. It's landlord. I don't know if he wants me drilling in and stuff like that. So talked to him and gave us the green light. So we're going to have a nice little skinning shack. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, well, the nice thing about that garage too is the bad thing about the garage that I have, it's really low ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
So that, initially, of course, like being, a redneck like I am, when we first started looking at that place, I was like, oh, well, there's that barn there. I can make that barn work. You know what I mean? We'll figure out a way. I'll get that barn cleaned out. We'll put the winch and everything in there, and we'll hang deer in there, and I'll cut deer up in there. Well, the barn has been definitely down the line of projects, way down the line.
Yeah.
So, and I usually have a workbench in my garage. I don't have that set up either. So I don't have a great spot.
Yeah.
I thought, I could probably hang a deer over one of these tree branches and make it work, which isn't perfect either.
Yeah.
But yeah, your place is really conducive for skinning out deer.
Oh, yeah.
And actually, the nice thing too is the way that garage is built, like the foundation, there's like the concrete foundation, and then they've got like a sill plate or like a 2x4 plate at the bottom, and that sticks out nice. So the way I was looking at it, we could probably build some sort of, something
Bracing
that,
kind of.
yeah, we'll basically build it up and over, probably get like some 2x6s or 2x8s, 2 or 3 of them, sandwich them together vertically, and then have those 2x4s and then have that on top.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be able to build something that will definitely hold a deer's weight, no problem.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So that's going to be, I don't know when that project is going to get done. I have a feeling that's going to be a 2026 project.
Oh, come on.
Dude, with all due respect, I got way too much stuff going on, dude. I got way too much stuff going on. Plus, found out that we're having my wife's family Christmas at our place. So I got projects that I'm trying to button up. So
maybe I'll get Zippy down. We can rig something up.
See, I think Zip would be all over that.
Yeah, he would for sure. But
Well,
yeah,
I would be all over too. I just don't have time, dude. I mean, it's like, I just hard to make time.
But yeah, so then we're gonna do that, and
But
then
the question is, are you going to do an electric, or are you going to do a hand crank on the pulley?
probably just a hand crank.
Yeah.
I talked because my Uncle Zip, he just got an electric one, and it's kind of a bear to get it hung up and stuff. So I figure just with it being at a rental place, I kind of want something that'll just be real nice and easy just to tear down if we need to.
Yeah, that is what's nice about it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll probably just do the hand crank one.
The big thing is you got to change direction.
Mm-hmm.
They say like where every time you change direction, it creates that much more like
Strength or whatever.
strength when you crank it up.
Yeah.
So you'll probably have it over here. You have it go up once, and then over, and then down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll work really good. And then I'm gonna get a nice little garage heater, propane garage heater. Found one that I really, really like. It's on rollers, and it's got in the back of it, the back opens up and you can put a 20-gallon tank right in it.
Ooh.
Compared to having to like move the heater, move the tank and stuff. So we're making just a nice little man cave.
The other thing I wonder if you could do is you could probably just do an electric heater.
Well, I was looking into that, and they're just all really small.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all real small.
But what I was thinking is they make those electric heaters that are like boxes that you can like put up on the wall. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if I have a 240 in there, though.
Wow, I think some of them are, you can get them as, some of them are just 110s.
Because my dad, he's got one, and
Yep.
it's really small. I mean, it's not small, but I mean, it's a decent sized one. And he said he needed 240 for that one. So then I was thinking
220.
220. Yeah, sorry. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but we're in the beginning stages of the planning process of the little man cave, so maybe we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But
Well, other thing that's important to discuss, I want to talk more about that, but I was just thinking of this. This is non-related to anything, but I think we talk about it anyway. You're commissioner on the for the Iowa Invitational. Big decisions that were being made last night. What'd you guys come up with?
the
3
meeting,
commissioners, I found out, all with equal power. So there's not like one person has to say ultimately, but we'll just use this as a platform to
the
make
meeting,
the big announcement.
the meeting got postponed.
Oh, pulling a Lane Kiffin, are you? Delaying it a day,
No.
and then another day, then another day?
No, it was my co-commissioner, Mikey. Shout out, Mikey, weekly listener of the podcast.
Okay. Shout out Mikey. Nice to meet you, Mike, or Mikey.
He just got busy last night, so we weren't able to meet last night.
Wow,
So,
wow. He knows how important this is, right? This is a big responsibility to be a commissioner. You know, I know it's a big responsibility because you talk about it all the time, so it must be big.
No,
From what
it's
from
fine.
what I understand, there's some big decisions to be made.
There is.
There's some serious,
There is.
there's some gravitas on the line right now.
There is. There's.
$1 million question. Do you keep it small? Do you add more people? If you have more people, who do you add? If you add more people and you make it bigger, how big do you let it get? If you let it get bigger, does that take away from the
Camaraderie.
and specialness of the Iowa Invitational? Where is the Iowa Invitational? See, I think there's a very, very simple solution to this. I already mentioned this, and I'm throwing it out to all the other commissioners. Hey, Mikey. Sounds like there's a big debate about, do you keep it small or do you have more people? But the problem is you guys like it to stay small, but you also feel like there's other people that you would like to have come.
Oh, we got wait
But-
list is about yay big.
Yeah, but then the problem is there's some ding-dongs in there. Yep. And then some of these ding-dongs don't get along with some of the other yahoos.
No, we get all along.
Nice
We get
try.
along.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do.
Then you start drinking a couple brew stinks, and then you definitely don't get along. Okay? So the problem is, but here's the biggest problem. You guys want to keep all the same teams every year. That's the part that's the part that has to break. Nope. See, that's the problem. You're stuck in your ways. Here's the best solution. 1 year experiment. Do more players, do more teams, but then do like some sort of draft or lottery. Mix up the teams so people can be with new people. That way there's more of a who knows who's going to win.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think if you're playing with the same 4 guys every single year, eventually, like, somebody's not going to be able to go, and then you got to bring in another new guy, then another new guy, and then that other guy is going to come back, and then he's going to say, well, I want to come back. It's like, well, we got this guy now. It just gets to be difficult. Just mix up the teams. You could do a whole draft or a whole lottery selection thing. That could be kind of fun. I think you need to do different teams. Can't be the same teams every year.
We'll see.
That just doesn't seem fair. If let's use a perfect example. Let's Internet Invitational. It was the same teams every year. Who wouldn't want to watch that? Mix it up, man. Mix it up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Got a big discussion.
I literally can't believe
Tomorrow
that
night.
meeting got delayed. As much as you talked about it. And you know what? How do I know this much about it? How do I know this much? Because Frazzlefoss right here talks about it all the time.
Yeah, it's a fun thing. No, the big reason we're doing this so early is because we have our Friendsmas party coming up on the 13th, and we always pick the date for the tournament on 13th. So I told the other commissioners, I said, hey, I just want to have my ducks in a row. That's it.
Well, and let's just say I have a vested interest. I wouldn't mind playing in the Iowa Invitational. I would love to play. I would be all about more teams and more players, and I would also be about a draft or lottery system. I think that could be more fun. You could mix everybody up, let people play with new people.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. It's like I said, a lot to discuss.
This has nothing to do with ozonics or anything else. But you know what? Here's the reality. Here's what I always say. It's ozonics, hunting, and everything in between. The fact of the matter is that we are passionate whitetail hunters. We're also avid turkey hunters. We also like dirt track racing, and we also like golfing.
Yeah.
Those are that's kind of our four. And I like Alaska.
Yeah.
So we got other things. We got other irons in the fire.
Yeah.
That's why I can't get into predator hunting, and that's why I can't get into ice fishing. That's why I can't get into other things. Got already too many hobbies.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's all good.
Well,
It's
that's
real.
it.
I mean, it
That's the other thing you can say is
just
that
goes to show how much, I mean, we're grinding yet. We're still hunting a lot, but you know what? We still got stuff going on in our personal lives.
like the invitational that
It's tough being a commissioner with a full-time job. But it's just I'll bend over backwards for these guys.
that is the biggest load of malarkey I've ever heard in my entire life.
No, it's all fun stuff. It'll be good. But yeah, big meeting tomorrow night. We'll get that all dialed in.
The other thing you guys should put on the docket, I'm just putting it on the docket so you can talk about it at the meeting. I think you need to step up your trophy. The trophy needs to grow in size or stature
We have a great trophy right now.
every year. Something's got to be added.
No, the trophy might have got broken last year, actually.
So that's what I'm saying. The trophy,
No, the trophy's good. We have badges for each year's winner on it, so it's pretty sweet. I have yet to hold that trophy.
see, the other thing, and I'm just going to put it out there because I don't know if he's going to bring it up. So, Mikey, if you're listening, which sounds like you are listening, shout out to Mikey. I'm going to just put it out there. I also think what you should do is you should get enough people that you can talk to the golf course you're playing at and just take over the course.
That's part of the conversation.
Yep. But hear me out. If you take over the course, then what I also think is you should have some individual awards during the four-man best shot or scramble, as the Wisconsin folks say. Meaning you should do like longest drive or farthest putt, right?
Yeah.
Or you could put stuff on the green on one hole that everybody has to hit around, like, I don't know, whatever it may be. Something on the green that you have to hit around.
Yeah.
Do some things in there. Just mix it up a little bit. Do a little mix up in there.
Yeah.
Or give each team 6 foot of string. And that's you can do a gimme. Scissors, then you got to cut the string off every time you use it for your gimme. To not add a stroke.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah. No, a lot to talk about. We'll, like I said, we're gonna get it all dialed in tomorrow night. Big meeting tomorrow night. So.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yep.
Is this the third or fourth?
Fourth.
Fourth. Gosh, that is so crazy. It's been 4. It'll be 4 years.
I think
of
it's
this.
4.
I think this is third. I think it's the third. You played it in Clear Lake both times.
Yeah, it is the third.
Yep, it's the third. Because the first year it was just kind of what it was. Then last year you guys had a playoff or an extra hole. You had overtime.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the third.
Yeah, I think it is the third. Yep, it is the third.
It's gaining popularity. It's gaining momentum.
I know. I've said it since the start. This is about to be a regional tournament.
You're going to have to make some. But here's the thing: are you going to let it grow? Are you going to let it evolve? Or are you going to hold it back?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
You need to figure it out.
I can't be talking about this stuff without my commissioners by my side.
Here's the thing about Nick that I figured out. Nick has no stance on any of it. I've tried to pin him down on. So what do you think? What do you think? And he already says, I got to talk to other commissioners, which means he doesn't even know. He doesn't have an opinion.
No, it's because me and the commissioners are all equal.
I know, but that means you have a third of the say. What's your say?
What's my say?
Yeah, what's your say?
I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying.
No, I'm not.
You
saying
could
that.
never be on the college football playoff
I
committee
can't
because
disclose this.
Oh, sure.
I want my lawyers.
No, you want your other commissioners.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a 2-commissioner with you just leading the meeting. You need to have a say. You need to step up. You need to campaign for your.
I know what I want, but I'm not going to disclose
Well,
it.
what do you want?
I'm not going to disclose it.
Unbelievable.
Nope, I'm not going to say anything.
Well, then you know what? I'm just saying this for next week. I want a full report.
Okay.
I want a full report.
Okay.
I want the minutes provided, and I want a
Okay.
detailed rundown of what was talked about and what was discussed,
Okay.
what was decided,
Okay.
and who brought it up and who made the decision, what everybody's opinions were, because you're telling me nothing right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
See, there you go again. Just dodging bullets, man. Just dodging.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that had nothing to do with anything, but you can also say that golf season is officially over.
Yeah.
So over. The entire state got snowed on.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
did.
any part of the state didn't get snowed on.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anybody that's shooting video where there's no snow on the ground.
Yeah, no.
It is snowed everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of stuff in our rearview mirror now. We've got fall leaves in the rearview mirror. We've got dirt track racing in the rearview mirror. We've got golfing in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, you're thinking about it wrong. I think that's all ahead of us. It's all ahead of us. Be here before we know it.
I don't know.
Turkey season will be here before we know it.
I don't know.
That's actually true. The turkey season always comes really fast. It's all ahead of us yet.
Well,
Never in the rearview mirror. It's always just ahead of us.
yeah. I think what's interesting is like, it's funny because there's not really feels like that many slow parts of the year, really.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think the slowest part of the year for us.
Easy for me, I'll tell you.
Well, I know what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I was gonna say my slowest time of year, I think, is after turkey season until
Deer season.
deer season.
For sure. That's the worst part of every year. It's terrible. So boring.
I think that's why I get so into dirt track racing and golfing, because I need something to fill the void.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about it, let's just go from the beginning of the year. January, we still got deer seasons until the 10th. So it's on like Donkey Kong. Then you got some deer work to do after the season if you got stuff on public land. So you better get that up. You better get that squared away, right? Then us personally, we go straight into the shows.
Yeah.
So we go, January, the second half of January is a little slow, but then we go February, March, go. And then
Right into turkey season.
turkey season's here.
Yep.
April, May, we run hard turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Then June is slow. But I go on a family vacation in June. But even after that, June is slow. July is slow. Honestly, I feel like for me, August is when it really hits. Because then I go to Alaska in August. And then it's September. And usually we're doing depth hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So basically by September, it's on again. Then
Yeah.
it's September, it's on. October, November, we're deer hunting. December, here we are.
Yep. Nope. It's all fun, man.
Yeah, summer is kind of rough.
Yeah.
We need to find something to hunt during the summer. I feel like, what we should do this next summer? We could absolutely just Pele. Is we should do some late spring, early summer coyote hunting, fawn in distress, coyote calling. We could kill some coyotes with fawn in distress.
Heck yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to another episode of Onyx Killerwinds podcast. Nick, I expect a full report on the Iowa Invitation. Hey, the other thing to mention is if you are getting out there this weekend, be careful.
Be really careful.
Be careful.
Guys.
We always talk about wearing a harness. Make sure you're being careful. But gun safety, paramount thing this weekend. I don't want to get on the radio, listen on the radio on Monday, and hear this, that, and the other happen. Let's be careful.
And you know what, too?
Know what you're shooting at. Know which direction you're shooting. Be careful.
And you know what else?
Have fun. Be careful.
And also, if you're going to be going out in this cold, just dress warm enough. A deer's not worth losing fingers. I mean, just be smart. You just got to be smart this time of year.
I know, and I know we said we were wrapping it up, but you're so hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah.
This cold, it creates new challenges.
Yeah.
And when you're up in the air and your hands are cold, your feet are cold, and you're trying to get down, and everything starts to speed up, there can be this like feeling of like frantic.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to get out of here. Just be careful.
Yeah.
It sounds really stupid. Know where you're going. We all have Onyx. Mark a waypoint. Geez, as silly as that sounds, it's
Call your buddies.
easy to get turned around.
Yeah.
It's easy to get turned around.
And let other people know where you're at, too, in case something goes real south.
Exactly. Hey, I'm here. If you don't hear from me by 7 o'clock, give me a shout.
Yeah.
Stuff can happen.
Yeah.
When it's single digits in the teens, you're not making it out there with that type of weather. You got to be careful.
Yeah.
Dress warm.
Yes.
Be careful.
Yep.
So have fun. Just be careful.
Be safe.
Be safe.
We
All right.
will see ya next week.
Stay classy. Stay classy. Stay classy. Stay classy.